on into the room. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you're catching today's live from. My name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, and I am your cash flow queen and founder of the #1 legal tax act to hire your kids in your own home-based business. So should you choose to do so. And today we're actually discussing clarifying what you're really selling. So this is closing out quarter 2 of 2025, and I just want to make sure that you are in the room and that you're gathering this information, that you're excited about this month of June. We are closing out quarter 2 this month of June, and the metric or the mindset that we're actually working on is to brand to the bank, paying attention to what your value is and how it leads to an offer, your lead systems, and your visibility. So definitely come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, post your city and state where you're catching this information from on today so that we can ensure that we know where this brand value is reaching. So jumping right into what we're discussing on today, again, clarifying what you're really selling. We're talking about that you're not just selling a product or service, you're actually selling, sharing, sowing, giving a result, a promise, and a transformation. So right now, you guys are available to hop on each and every week to receive this information via the free YouTube channel. And again, that's the information. However, your brand master has learned that paid equals transformation. So if you are actually consuming all of this information, but you're not moving to the next level, or your audience is not moving to the next level, then you need to actually pay attention to what your value is and be sure that it equals, that it connects with an offer so that the client or the recipient or the customer or the prospect can actually receive a transformation, not just the information. Most entrepreneurs, they're struggling right now to generate sales. And it's not because they're not talented. It's not because they haven't clarified what it is they're actually out here doing. Well, let me say that it's not because they're not talented. They're not gifted. They're not in the, in the mindset or the realm for, purpose and prosperity. It is actually because they aren't clarifying. They're not getting really granular with what it is that they're actually selling, sharing, sowing, giving, and all of that to the audience that knows what it is that they have to offer. So literally, today's training is provided to help you stop describing the features and start communicating the real results, the value, so that they can see what it is and what it will do for them. So if you want more people to buy, then you need to show them what it is that they're really buying. So I've touched on this for the past month or so with regards to the slight pivot that the brand is taking to help you guys understand the direction that we're going in to help your current business value, to scale it, to grow it. And that is dealing with government contracts. So you'll hear me weaving that in and out of the brand so you guys can understand the actual pivot that you need to put in place now. So the good old Oval Office is now really, I guess, head on leading with snatching jobs out of the homes. And you guys know that the W-2 worker literally can be what charges and fuels the income that comes into a small business. So if the W-2 job goes away, some of those W-2 jobs are with small businesses, but if the W-2 job goes away, then businesses overall will suffer. And so what I'm suggesting, instead of getting mad at the Oval Office, learn to play the game. Instead of getting frustrated with the inflation, learn to play the game. Instead of getting, bogged down, put out, set aside, bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray by the Oval Office and what is going on, learn to play the game. And I'm suggesting that you learn to play the game, or you learn the rules of the game so that you can play, and you can play strategically. So currently you have value. You have value inside of you, and you need to figure out how to take that value and the features and actually turn the benefits of that value into outcomes, because features don't sell, the outcomes do. The benefits don't sell, the results do. You describing your value doesn't sell, the transformation that the client, the customer, the prospect receives, that is actually what it does. Okay. So I'm going to talk about 3 layers of every offer that you should have in place. And if you don't have it in place, then you need to go ahead and do a revamp and get it in place so that your business and your brand can garner the attention and be set up structurally sound, foundationally sound, so that it can garner the attention and it can actually pre-qualify, qualify, and actually submit bid proposals and receive government contracting and the funds. Okay, so that is the mindset. That's the shift that we're going in. I will explain it until the cows come home to make sure that I'm clear in what it is that we're doing and making sure that if you don't currently have yourself set up, you need to get this done. You need to be moving in this direction, okay? So also, I'm going to give you a so what, meaning so what happens next, so what comes next, so what formula or framework or filter. And that is the best way you can see how you can now explain your offer so that your ideal client, customer, prospect, or individual seeking your value will know and see the value and they'll want to buy. Okay. And so I'm going to probably turn into a screen share here in a moment to be able to show you some real world examples when we get to that part, but we'll see. Today we're opening up with the value to offer. And if I don't have that up on the screen, let me make sure that I pull myself down here into the bottom left-hand corner and get that asset up on the screen so you can know what we're discussing on today at a quick glance. That is the reason why I do this now. So anybody that is landing upon this information, that when they scroll across the screen and they see, they go, okay, wait a minute, she's talking about the fact that I too am currently unsure about what I'm actually selling. And yes, that is exactly why people are not buying. Let me click and let me watch this video now so that I can learn more from the brand master. So just to let you know, it's a subliminal but obvious messaging because you're not here to see me. You're here to get the information, right? And then once you get the information, it helps you move to the next level, which is the transformation. And how do you buy into getting access to the transformation? Okay. Think about that when you're thinking about your messaging. I want you to get clear because you're not just selling a workbook. You're not just selling a book. You're not just selling your course. You're selling time freedom. You're selling confidence. You're selling a result, a solution, a shortcut, right? What the real problem is that you actually have the value. Because again, people don't buy what it is, they buy what it means to them. So if you can't make it make sense to them, make it make sense. If you can't make it make sense to them, then why are they even going to purchase something? They have to want to. The buying decision is in their realization that they need it. And you just want to make sure that you're making it easy. So the first thing you want to do is you want to think about what happens when a person finds you. So let's use this video as an example. What happens when a person when they're scrolling on YouTube, when they're scrolling on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, when they're coming upon a reel that I put up? What happens? You want to think about that. And then you want to be able to think through the process for them so you can make sure that it's an easy process for them so that they can go through the steps quickly, easily, make a buying decision, make the decision to buy, and then they can move into what's next, okay? When someone finishes working with you, when they finish consuming whatever that product is, what has changed? This is one of the most important questions that you can go through to get to what's keeping them from buying. So what has changed? When they got the checklist, once they completed the checklist, was their domain set up? Was their subdomain set up? Do they now know how to quickly access any of their links by memory? What has changed? Was it an ease for them? Do they now know that they can do this? That's a part of the what has changed for them. You need to be able to see the result for them quickly, easily, so that they can see it for themselves. Now, what do they now believe is possible? Have you transformed in them? Wow, I can remember all of my links now because they're my name. I can remember how to shift, pivot, and direct someone to get to any area of my brand because now that I've gone through setting up my subdomains the way the brand master in this checklist has indicated that I need to, now I believe it's possible for me to easily do this. I don't have to worry about checking notes. And even though I have notes, I suggest you use your notes because you want to make the best possible use of an individual's time. This is the reason why I keep my notes up, to make the best possible use of your time. You're watching this information, you're getting this value, and I want to make sure that I don't miss or leave out anything. I want to make sure that when you finish consuming this information, you believe it's now possible to go to domains.martinabrityelverton.com, to go ahead and put in the cart your name, your first, middle initial, and last name. Or for those ladies who are going to generally get married and change their name, then your first and middle name. Go ahead and secure your name on the World Wide Web. Now that you do that, go ahead and continue down the checklist and understand any subdomains for anywhere you're trying to send them throughout your business or your brand. And again, if you don't have your business or your brand set up yet, you can still do this because you are the value, you are the asset. You may just be starting out. You may just want them to be able to access your reels, reels.martinabrityelverton.com, depending on what directive reel you're trying to take them to. Yourname.com. Now I believe that I can do this. Go ahead and go through that checklist, right? Then what can they now do that they couldn't do before? So now they can go through a checklist, they can go through a live, they can go through setting up their streams, they can go through any type of delivery of their value because they don't have to worry about remembering, oh, what was the link? What was the bit.ly? Was it a hashtag, a forward slash, a backslash? Did it have a question mark? Did it have an underscore? Did it have a dot? Did it have a dash? They don't have to remember all that. All they have to do is remember, what is my topic for today and what is my name? And you will be able to access their information. They, meaning the client, will be able to access the presenter's information, right? That is what they can now do that they couldn't do before. So when you go through those 3 questions, that will help you. So let me break it down for you utilizing my 45-minute Monetize Your Voice with AI free webinar. All right. It's a 45-minute webinar to help you monetize your voice with AI. Here's the so what filter. So what? What can they do now? So what? What is it now? So what is exactly the Monetize Your Voice AI? Well, it is a webinar that shares with you, the attendees, that the story is your brand, that your voice is your value, and that you are probably making 5 of the business mistakes that an individual trying to DIY their brand or DIY their way through a brand is currently making. And this will give you a better belief that you can do this. So what? So I can do what? So that you can stop living check to check, so that you can feel in control of your money, your time, so that you can believe again, so that you can be in control of your money, so that you can have a blueprint, so that you can actually go live in a structure, in a format, with a framework, and deliver that information. Take your entire zhuzh, your value, your brand, your business, through a so what filter, and make sure that one thing you do, you can answer. So now what happens? The next thing you do. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Through the next level. So where do they find it? So why should I do this? Take it through a so what filter so that you can answer any of these questions easily, so that the client can do what? Answer those questions easily. That's the real offer. That's what you're actually sowing, sharing, and selling. That's what you're giving to people. The ease of you being able to provide them a realistic solution, a result. Okay, so we can do this exercise live. So should you choose to do so, and that is choose one of your services or your freebies. Okay, and apply the so what filter, right? So that you can go through any of the, so what are they going to get? So why should you do this? So when should you offer it? So where should they find it? So how does this work? So what is the result? So what is the benefit? Go through that so what filter, right? And then you will be able to make it easy because you'll be actually on the journey of your solution for the client, right? And try and think of it from their mindset so that you can answer all of their questions. You really have to get granular with the solution that you provide, whatever your field is, so that the individual can see themselves attaining the transformation and the result. All right. What do you think is one result your audience is going to get from working with you right now? And what do you know your audience should get from you based on these changes that you need to make, right? What is one thing that you rarely talk about that you actually need to bring to the front of the room? I'm going to talk about disorganization. I'm going to talk about the inability to locate what you need to locate. I'm going to talk about the inability to be prepared for your elevator pitch. If you happen to step onto the elevator of your number one person that you're always endeavoring or you've dreamed of working with, are you prepared for that moment? Or do you have to go, oh, wait a minute, I know I have a link so that you can get access to my book, but I can't find it. No, you should know the title of that book. You Are Enough, yae.martinabrityelverton.com. If I were trying to get you to go over to the collaborative deal that was created with the one and only Les Brown, and I needed you to go and find my contributing chapter inside of the You Are Enough book, that would be this book right here with Les Brown and Dr. Cheryl Wood, then I would be able to say, go to YAE, you are enough.martinabrityelverton.com, YAE.martinabrityelverton.com. I would be able to know that in an instant if I ever ran in to the one and only Les Brown in person. Now, I've been featured on stages with him, speaking before him. I've been featured in several SpeakerCon speaking events with different people with Cheryl Wood. But if you ever were to run into the individual that you are inspiring your life behind, that has inspired the changes that are happening in your life, which at the drop of a hat, the link that you needed to sow into that conversation so that that individual would remember you. What is that one thing that you rarely talk about that your intended person you are supposed to work with needs? I would suggest you start there and you would ask yourself those initial pivotal questions that we ask. What has changed for them once they finish working with you? What is it that they now believe is possible because they've worked with you? And what can they now do that they couldn't do before because you have impacted their life? If you think about your freebie, your value in that capacity, the impact that it has on their life, because truly that's what value really is. That's what your brand can really do. It can impact someone else, which is all the reason we are here. Think about that and think about what it would look like to scale and expand and grow your value, your business, or your brand. And what that looks like when that value impacts not just locally, not just in your county, not just in your city, not just in your state, right? But globally. The only way you're going to get there is to scale your value and to put it out there on a larger schedule, on a larger platform, in a larger pool. Okay, think about that. So if you want to drop that information into the comments on any of these videos, yay, go ahead and do that. And I would love to assist you. We are live inside of the private group today, inside of the Brand You community, giving you value as always each Tuesday through Friday. Right after these live trainings finalize, you're available to go to community.martinabrityelverton.com. That will prompt you to get your own free account with us. And then you'll go up to the events tab and click on today's date to be able to join us inside of the live Zoom room. You have access to many, many, many helpful tools inside of the community, all free to you as a member, community.martinabrityelverton.com. And again, if you are interested in learning anything about GovCon, then now is the time to get in. The access is open for you to register now so that you can be in the room next month when Dr. Kawana D. Irving drops these gems. I have a pre-recording session of last month's in May's 5-day challenge. It's available inside of the free community. You might want to get into the community so you can be best prepared for next month as possible. Again, my name is Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton. I hope you have found value in the information I've given you on today so that I can catch you guys up, bring you forward, move the needle in your business, because again, my daily goal is to brand you, educate you, and to help you get your assets in order so that you can go from being stuck and struggling to gaining impact and influence, right? And so that you can attract people who need what it is that you have to offer. I hope to catch you inside of live open offers, but if not, I hope to catch you on tomorrow's live. And tomorrow's live, we're actually talking about turning your brand pillars into paid services. If you need that, subscribe below and select the bell so you can get the notification when we go live so that you can receive the information that you so desire. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, giving you the latest update about our daily Get Your Assets in Order and Brand You series. Join me live each and every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for actionable steps on brand building for beginners, current client revisions, and watch as we level up brands in 2025. We are covering everything from tools, tips, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, high-level AI automations, and more. These will take you from confused to confident. So after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. If I were you, I wouldn't miss out. Mark your calendars and subscribe now to our YouTube channels. Join our free communities, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up as a struggling entrepreneur, we have the solution, the systems, and the experts. Our entire team is live each and every weekday at 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can lunch and learn. If you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you know you need to do to get your assets in order.